For as long as people have been building homes, they've been landscaping them, usually using vast amounts of fresh water to keep that landscape green. But the days of unlimited fresh water are over in many American cities, so the next generation in landscaping might be a water-conserving style called xeriscaping. Janelle, what really is xeriscaping?
Xeriscape is just quality, common-sense landscaping. It conserves water and protects the environment.
How do you conserve water by landscaping your yard?
You just want to follow 7 real simple common sense principles. First of all, you want to start with a plan. When we designed our landscape, we really thought it out before we started putting any plants in the ground, and that's real important. You want to think about where your water source is so that you can water efficiently, where you've got sun and those kinds of things before you start planting. Then you want to improve your soil. We added about 6 inches of organic matter to our soil, tilled it in, before we ever started doing any planting because we wanted to enrich the soil. The next thing is you want to plan for a practical turf area. By that I mean you don't want to have just a giant lawn and a few shrubs across the front of the house. You want to plan for maybe larger beds and have your grass where it really makes the most sense, and choose a grass that's good for that particular condition. For instance, I have a real dry, sunny area, and we've put buffalo grass there.
How often do you have to water buffalo grass?
Well, last summer when we had a very hot, dry summer, we had I don't know how long string of 100-degree days. We watered that grass twice.
Twice, and it was green all summer?
It was, and that's the only reason. If we hadn't watered it, it would have gone dormant and come back when the rain came.
Sounds like the right choice. Well, what's the next step in xeriscaping?
Well, the next thing you want to do is choose appropriate plants. You want to pick plants that are good for the area where you live. Pick plants that are native or adapted to your area. That's going to give you a lot of benefits. It's going to save water. Your plants are going to look better because they're not going to be as vulnerable to pests and diseases as our plants that you've brought in from other areas. And so in our landscape, we've used a lot of native plants. We've got a lot of perennials for our garden color.
Yeah, they look great.
Thank you.
Got really nice color.
This is a Mexican Petunia. It dies back in the winter, and then, as you can see, comes back full force in the spring.
That's a good thing about a perennial. It comes back on its own.
That's right. And so you're not having to water to reestablish your flowering plants every year.
Okay.
We've got purple coneflowers back here that are, again, native, and they're well adapted to this area, and you don't have to water them a lot. We never spray any kind of chemicals on them.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. What's the next step then on xeriscaping?
The next step is that you want to plan for efficient irrigation. You don't have to have a sprinkler system, although you can if you want to. We don't have an automatic sprinkler system here. But you want to plan for watering efficiently by grouping together your plants that have similar water needs, and the type of sprinklers you use is real important. You want to make sure you're making every drop count. If you're using a hose, a lot of water can run out of that hose in a very short time. So put something like a hose nozzle on there where you can, turn it on and off and really control it. With your sprinklers, you want it to throw out large drops of water so that you're losing less to evaporation.
So no misting, always big drops.
Exactly, that's right.
Well, after water, what's the next step then?
Well, you need to have about a 3-inch layer of mulch, organic mulch, on the top of your soil in your garden areas. And that's going to give you a lot of benefits. One is going to help your soil retain moisture better, so you're not going to have to water it as often. It's also going to prevent weed growth, so you're not going to have to do as much maintenance on your landscape.
I like that a lot.
And another benefit is that organic mulch is going to decompose over time and add more nutrients to keep your soil healthy for those plants.
So we're not going to have to fertilize as much, are we?
That's right. We fertilize about once a year.
Is that all the 7 steps?
The last step is maintain appropriately. A xeriscape is a low-maintenance landscape. It is not a no-maintenance landscape. I really think there's no such thing.
By incorporating xeriscape principles into home landscapes, it is estimated that water usage can be cut in half.